We must therefore hand over our proceedings to the Most High, and in so doing, invite the Spirit of Heaven to take charge of what we are doing here today, because it is pivotal. And we must pray in the language of heaven, of course. Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efe.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you're joining me from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, or from Australia, I really do appreciate you for your contributions on my channel. And I thank you very well for all your contributions, all your messages. I read your messages from time to time, and it's a source of encouragement for me. It makes me to get better from day to day. Thank you so much for your contributions, and thank you so much for your support. Today, once again, as you all know, I always come here to talk about the situation of the contraption called Nigeria, what the government are doing, and the way they are trying to intimidate the people from speaking up and trying to take away our voice. We will never be silent. It doesn't matter how they do it. It doesn't matter how they try to make it. They can never succeed. We will continue to speak our mind. We will continue to voice out our own opinion, and the world will continue to hear us. We will never allow them to change the narrative. That is why you must have to be ready to tell your story. Be very ready to tell your story. Don't allow somebody to tell your story. If someone else tells your story, you will regret you left him to do so. So we have taken charge this time to tell our story. Wherever you are, so long you are from the southern part of Nigeria, you are from the southwest, you are from the southeast, the old southeastern region, put your mouth, add your own opinion on this very topic. Add your opinion. Speak up. Don't be silent. Use your platform to speak up. Tell the world the situation of that very contraption called Nigeria. Tell the world what is happening, the real truth of what is happening. Because the conventional media can never say the truth. The conventional media will never bring it the way it is. We are only the ones that can speak the way it is. We talk about it the way it is without looking at anybody, without trying to be sentimental. Without looking down on anybody, without trying to be politically correct. We say it the way it is. That is what we come to do. And today, we're going to talk once again about the situation of that very contraption called Nigeria. And today, we're going to talk about the vindication of IPOB, the vindication of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the vindication of ESN. These organizations are the organization formed by Chukwu Abiyama himself through MAZI NNAMDI KANU. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, whom Chukwu Abiyama have used to form this organization, has been consistent from day one. And we know the aim and objective of this very organization. They are not two. There is only one aim, the actualization of Biafra, and to make sure that every indigenous tribe in that very contraption called Nigeria becomes free. Becomes free and independent. That is the mission of IPOB. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, whom God has chosen as our Messiah to carry this mission to the end. He came out, he established the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, which we all are a member of. For those who are trying to say that they are not a member of IPOB and they are from the old southeastern region, it's either you are not educated or it's either you don't know whom you are. You don't know whom you are. But as long as you don't know you are, the Janjaweed know you better than you know yourself. They know whom you are. You can begin to deny your identity for all I care. But the Janjaweed knows you that everybody in the old southeastern region is a member of IPOB. So whenever you see people talking against IPOB, they are talking against you, so long you are from the old southeastern region. Whenever you see somebody speaking against IPOB, the person is speaking about you, the indigenous people of Biafra. Who are the indigenous people of Biafra? Everybody that is born in that very section of Nigeria called Biafra. The old southeastern region. It doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter the language you speak, it doesn't matter your tongue, it doesn't matter your religion, whatever you think you are in that old southeastern region, you are a member of IPOB by birth. You are a member of IPOB. So whenever you see a war is being waged against IPOB, the war is waged against you. You can begin to pretend for all I care, but the war is being waged against you. You don't know yourself. Even when you know yourself, you try to deny yourself. That is the greatest thing a man can do to himself, to deny himself or whom he or she is. Let us wake up, those of us from the southeastern region, to begin to embrace our identity. Embrace our identity. Know whom you are. You are an IPOB member by birth. If you are not a family member that is attending the meeting, that is a different thing. You're not attending the meetings, you're not doing that, but that does not make you, that does not remove you from being a member of IPOB. Even as much as you try to remove yourself, the Fulani Janjaweed knows very well that everybody in the southeastern region, old southeastern region, is a member of IPOB. That is why each time they come to attack, when they want to attack, they do not ask you what tongue do you speak, they do not ask you what is your religion, they do not ask you which part do you belong, they don't ask you which tribe are you. They come on you hard. When they see you in the north, they come on you hard. They identify you once as a Biafran and they come against you. That is why we have to know whom we are. You see, now they are bringing so many propagandas on the online. The northern elites are bringing a lot of propagandas accusing IPOB, MAZI NNAMDI KANU and ESN of extrajudicial killing. They are trying to change the narrative by all means possible, to change the narrative and make the victim the oppressor. Everybody who is living in that very contraption called Nigeria, even people who are not living in that contraption that knows about Nigeria, knows very well that the people who are the victim in that very contraption called Nigeria are the Biafrans. The Biafrans has been victims from the day one. They have been the victim of everything that happens in that very contraption. Biafrans are victims. When you talk about the extrajudicial killing, they kill Biafrans every now and then. Even before now that we're talking about that Fulani has come openly to begin to kill. Right from time in the north, they have been doing it. It's on record from one riot to the other, from one riot to the other. Every riot you hear about in the north is against the Biafrans, and they are killing the Biafrans, the Southerners as a whole. Every riot you see in the north, you hear about the Kaduna riot, you hear about the Jos riot, you hear about the Yola riot, you hear about the Kanu riot. Every place you hear about a riot in the north, for one reason or the other, they are coming against the Southerners. They have been killing the Southerners from independent till date. They have been killing the Southerners. The Biafrans has been murdered. Even before the Biafran war, they have been killing the Biafrans. Until the Biafran war came, they killed us, more than 5 million people, and they are still killing us up to this day. Nobody is talking about it. People go about their various businesses as if nothing happened. And each time they come against the Biafrans, each time they come against the Southerners, we never take any reprisal. There has never been any reprisal. There have never been any record of any reprisal. Millions of people have lost their life apart from the civil war. People who are from the southern part of Nigeria, all in the name of a riot or whatever in the north. Anything that happens across the world, they will attack the Southerners in the north. Anything that happens in the Muslim country, they will attack the Southerners in the north as being responsible for it. A lot of such have happened and people are seeing it. The records are there. Nobody goes for any reprisal. And the most annoying thing is that those who are supposed to speak for us, those of us in the south, are not speaking. Those who call themselves elites are not speaking. Instead, they are colluding. The people who are representing the southeastern region, who are supposed to be the representative of southeastern region, which is Ohaneze Ndigbo. Ohaneze Ndigbo has never fought for the Igbos at any point in time. You can see what is going on. With this very time that MAZI NNAMDI KANU have taken charge of the position of everything and begin to revise everything that they're doing, you see the way the Northerners are mad. All their forum are issuing statements one after the other, saying one thing or the other. All the Northern forum, wherever they are, different kinds of, even the ones you have never had before, they are coming out to speak on behalf of the Northerners. These are the way to defend your people. When you are standing with your people and you really want to show that you want to defend your people, these are the way to defend. If there is nothing you can learn from the Northerners, this is one thing the Southerners should learn from the North on how to defend their people, how to protect their people, how to speak on behalf of their people. The Northerners are doing it. Even if their people are not in collusion with them, they speak out at every given point, every point in time. They speak without waiting for somebody to call on them. But what do you see in the southern part of Nigeria? They are all docile. They never say anything. Ohaneze Ndigbo will never come out to speak in support of his own children unless they are being fought or pushed. Not until when MAZI NNAMDI KANU come on air to begin to insult them and call them out. That is when you see them, they wake up and begin to talk. That is the only time you see them, they wake up and begin to talk. As we speak now, you can see how the Northerners are raging, how they are vomiting all some manner of words, defending their Fulanis, even in the midst of all the killings that is very open and clear that Fulanis are the ones perpetrating the evil in that very contraction. Fulanis are the ones causing the insecurity in that very contraction called Nigeria. It is very clear and open. Yet their people are coming out to defend them, trying to change the narrative and say that the Biafrans are the aggressors, trying to say that the ODUDUans are the aggressors, trying to say that the Southerners are the aggressors. They are trying by all possible means to change the narrative, to put it on us in the South. And the people who call themselves our elites, instead of coming on our defense, they are standing with this Janjaweed. Some of them are sitting on the fence. They don't want to call them Fulani herdsmen. They don't want to say Fulanis are involved. They don't want to call Northerners. They want to be politically correct at the expense of their people who are being killed on a daily basis. Who does that? Who does that? There is nobody that's insane that can do that. Your opponent, the Northerners, they are supporting their people, fighting and backing them up, even when they see them killing, even when they have seen that they have destroyed that very contraption. They are busy going to media to change the narrative. Going to media on daily basis to change the narrative. What are the Ohanes and Igbo doing? Nothing. Afenifere, what are they doing? They come out occasionally. Afenifere is even much better than Ohanes and Igbo. Afenifere, at least they have a stance. They are talking about their restructuring. I think they have a stand. But what stands are Igbos? Igbos who are the most persecuted, the Biafrans, who are the most persecuted. What are their people? See, look at Pandef. Pandef can never come out to speak on behalf of their people. Even at the face of all the killings and all the trials, they never issue a statement. Look at Ohanes and Igbo. They never come out. They only come out after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out to abuse them and insult them properly. Then they get back their senses and come back. If there is nothing you should learn from these Northerners, learn to defend your people at all costs. At all costs, learn to defend your people and speak on behalf of your people. We can never allow them to change narrative. Thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has come to turn everything around. It is no longer business as usual. There is no way they can change the narrative this time. They cannot change it. It is clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has opened the underneath of the file. We can now see. We can now see that even a reverend father wears a trouser. There is no way you can cover it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have opened everything up. No matter how they try to change the narrative, they can never change it anymore. That is why people are now speaking up. You can see some people coming out now in the open to defend what is happening and say the truth exactly the way. Even some of them, even as much as they are still standing in between. Some of them are still trying to be politically correct. But the plain truth, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is the truth, that truth that destroys Nigeria can never be covered. It can never be hidden. Even in the midst of all their being politically correct, in the midst of all their stupidity, in the midst of all their evil coverage, you will still see them. They wouldn't know when they will bounce into the truth and begin to speak the truth. You can't hide the truth. You can't cover the truth. Chukwu Okike Abiyama has made it that he has put word into everybody that comes into any media to talk rubbish, to speak the truth, whether they like it or not. I'm going to allow you to watch a video. You can watch a video of how the press are trying to change the narrative to make IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and ESN the victims. They are trying to make us the aggressor. We are the victim. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and ESN that are the victim. Who this military, the Janjaweed are killing on daily basis. They have been killing us time without number. They brought the insecurity. We protested without anything, without any weapon, without any. We have not killed any innocent person, regardless of your tribe, neither Hausa nor Yoruba nor Efik or whatever. IPOB, ESN have never killed any innocent person. They were only defending themselves against the invaders. But this Nigerian press are coming to change the narrative. They are trying by all means possible to change the narrative and make sure that they blame the southeastern part of Nigeria for the insecurity in that very country. They try as much as possible to blame IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and ESN for the insecurity in Nigeria. That is what they are planning now, to change the narrative. But unfortunately, it is too late. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom Chukwu Okike Abiyama have chosen, have spoken. And whatever he says stands, because it is the truth. No matter how they try to change it, the truth continues to come out. I want you to watch this video. Watch it carefully from beginning to the end, and you will see what happened. Even when the person who was speaking tried to cover up, at the end of the day, God opened up everything. The press tried to suppress him. He spoke it, speak the way it's supposed to be. Let us watch.
Arrested for simply protesting. Well, and you are saying, let us give them power to regulate social media. I would never be part of that.
Inebe, there was something you said earlier when you referred to the Eastern Security Network. I hope you are not justifying violence by any group inside Nigeria, because one of the bases for the objection of the federal government to Twitter is that Twitter has become a platform inside Nigeria for a particular separatist movement within the country. And then you were, waxing lyrical about the Eastern Security Network, the ESN, the militant wing of the IPOB. If you could just clarify your position on that before we move on.
I totally oppose. I totally deprecate and condemn unreservedly the killing of policemen, the burning of police stations, the carnage that is going on in the East. I am not sympathetic to IPOB. I don't believe in IPOB. I don't subscribe to IPOB. I am not a follower of Nnamdi Kanu. I have never been. I have always been critical of what he's fighting for. I do not believe in Biafra. I also do not believe in splitting Nigeria, even though I totally oppose the fraudulent one Nigeria they are talking about, because the united Nigeria that I want must be based on justice, must be based on rule of law. But I do not believe that we should divide the country. At the same time, we cannot criminalize what ordinarily should be an exercise of the right to self-determination. Eastern Security Network, whatever they are doing, I do not endorse it. I totally condemn it. But the point I am making, Dr. Bati, is that we should not be addressing these matters on the surface. Let us go to the roots. What led to the Eastern Security Network? Did Nnamdi Kanu just start with this group? They started by marching, carrying flag, going on the street, protesting. What was the response of the Nigerian state? What was the response of the Buhari regime? They deployed Operation Python dance. The Python was dancing on the lives of the people of the Southeast. People were being killed. People were being slaughtered. They were being attacked. They were not even allowed to protest, even when they charged him for treasonable felony. Even when they had filed charges before Justice Nyako at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The military, in a so-called democracy, invaded the house of Nnamdi Kanu, desecrated the palace of his father, who was a traditional ruler. You cannot have that in a decent country. So as we condemn the killing of policemen, the burning of police, the burn of stations and INEC offices, we must admit that this regime, this government, takes responsibility for the resort to violence by the group known as Eastern Security Network. If we are not truthful about these things, Dr. Bassi, we will continue to see history repeat itself. Boko Haram started when Mohammed Yusuf was extrajudicially killed. Have we learned any lesson as a country? The answer is no. We are still resorting to primitive, draconian ways of responding to civic agitation. When people are protesting, you engage them, you talk to them. That is why you say you are running a democracy. You don't kill them. You don't deny them of the right to protest. But we keep saying IPOB, and what the president said, he will speak to them in the language that they understand. These people have not recovered. The people of Eastern Nigeria, the Igbos in particular, they are still going through the agony of the civil war. And you are saying you treat them in the language they understand? What is the language of the civil war?
But there's an argument, and I'd like your comments on that argument, that the president's remarks were taken out of context. Those he was referring to were the armed groups who have forgotten the pains of the Southeast during the Civil War. The armed groups who are going around torching Nigerian infrastructure belongs to us, INEC infrastructure, for our democracy. That comment was made to a specific cadre of criminals. So those who leapt to their defense were wrong-footed, including Twitter, who did not take time to appreciate the broader context of that remark before deleting the tweet. Now, should Twitter have approached the Nigerian government, because this is a sovereign state, before deleting that tweet? I want your take on that. And also the general global move towards social media regulation. The U.S. government, the U.S. House of Representatives actually has 4 bills right now in the offing to restrain social media giants about utilizing user data, buying other platforms. I grant you, none of them is trying to restrain or censor the actual posts that individuals make. But there is a general sense that social media giants are too big for their britches. your comments.
Do you know that as I speak today, Nigeria does not have a data protection law? Embarrassingly enough. Because you are citing the example, and that is why I'm saying when we make these comparisons, we must look at the peculiarity of these countries. There is no single one data protection law in Nigeria today. Not even one. Not even one that protects the data of Nigerians. We don't have. We do not have. Now, you make, the point that the president's comment was taken out of context. The only person or persons who took the president's comment out of context is the president and Lai Mohammed. Nigerians understood what he said. I personally understood what he said. The context in which he said it was clear. He didn't just stop at that. He didn't say he was referring to the armed groups. No. When you look at it objectively, when you look at it in context, because he said that they have businesses all over the country. Is it IPOB that has businesses all over the country? Does IPOB have business in Kanu, in Sokoto, in Zamfara, in Benue, in Kwara, in Ogun, in Cross River? They don't. Does the Eastern Security Networt have businesses all over the country? The answer is no. Buhari was referring to the Igbos. We can admit it, we can pretend about it. His body language has been clear. He started by saying you cannot treat 93 and 5% equally. We have seen how he has marginalized the Igbos. No Igbo is represented in the National Security Council. Look at the nepotism. So when we are saying his comment was taken out of context, are we also saying that his nepotistic appointments, his clearly sectional appointments are also taken out of context? Because this is a president that has a pedigree, a shameful pedigree, an unfortunate pedigree of favoring a section of the country that has polarized this country as never before. So that is not a precedent that you will tell me spoke at, that people are taking him out of context. He was clear on what he meant. In any event, we have had the so-called herdsmen or the so-called armed Fulani herdsmen committing killing people across the country from the north to the south. Has he spoken to them? Because in your interview with him, he made reference to what Governor Tom said, that the Governor Tom said is Fulani and that he cannot deny it. Not all Fulanis are criminals. But as Buhari spoken to his kinsmen, the ones that are criminals, the ones that are armed, in the language that they understand, the answer is no. We want language has he been speaking to them. Language of encouragement, language of endorsement, ruga, settlement, grazing roads, and so on and so forth. Despite that governors have rejected these divisive policies, Buhari is still trying to force it on the throat of Nigerians. He has not addressed the killings by the herdsmen. Has he spoken to bandits in the language that they understand? For the last 6 years, the answer is no. Rather, Gumi is advocating amnesty. School students are being kidnapped. Just yesterday, people were praying in Zaria against kidnapping. Buhari has not spoken to kidnappers in the northeast, the northwest, in the language that they understand. He has also not spoken to Boko Haram and ISWAP in the language that they understand. But suddenly, he now knows the language that IPOB will understand. I do not think that is how to run a country whose unity you are willing to kill for. I do not think how to run a country that is...
Let's move on from this Twitter and this political talk.
After watching, you can see that they cannot hide the truth. The truth cannot be hidden anymore. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB and ESN are not the cause of the insecurity in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB and ESN are not the aggressors. They are not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB and ESN, they are not the problem of Nigeria. They are not. Nigerian government brought the insecurity to the southern part of Nigeria, and they are the ones who are killing people. IPOB have not killed any innocent person. ESN has not killed any innocent soul. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never hurt a fly. Each time he speaks, he is speaking against the terrorists, against the invaders, against those who say we will not leave. The message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a message of freedom for every indigenous person in that very contraction called Nigeria, and that message must stand. It doesn't matter how you pretend, you will hear the truth. If you like, block your ears, you will continue to hear the truth. Block your ears, the truth will be waiting for you until when you remove your hand, the truth will enter your ears and you hear it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done his job. He has done a marvelous job through the help of and nobody can stop him. It doesn't matter how you try. It doesn't matter how you try. He has preached the message of truth, and the message of truth will continue to germinate, bear fruit, and continue to yield more fruit every blessed day. Thank you so much for watching, wherever you are watching from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you, and remember this. Don't allow them to change the narrative. We must be free. Remember us. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.